And my mother's the only person who really crossed a border in this book. She's an immigrant from China. And this is the Wang family, shown in 1973. In the Wang family, the grandfather, Qi Xing, is smiling, as he should. His English name is Cheer Singh. The grandmother looks more severe, with her gray hair brushed back, as if she's not well. This is my mother's family. A grandfather I met once, a grandmother I never met, other relatives I've hardly thought of, 2 uncles, their wives, with a son each, my cousins. They've gotten together here in jackets that are almost identical, designed for a look that's suitable under the rule of Chairman Mao. Keeping with that childhood theme, this is pretty much advice that my mother gave me. I suppose advice for living. It's called Mother's Advice. Go to the Black Spring, bring your lunch, and eat it cold. Walk to the water circle, dive to the bottom, and nail your question to the dragon's door. Be careful not to anger the dragon and drown. Float back slowly into the sun's glow. Go home knowing you will be a legend for reaching so deep. Childhood difficulties. It's called The Crazy Fly. It is the goddamned hornet that reminds me of the crazy fly, both being a bumbling disposition. I can imagine the crazy fly, for it is encountered many times, buzzing around the bulb, banging against the bed, bringing bold clumsiness around the victim, watching helplessly as it appears with a drone to strike terror into the hearts, etc. It is difficult to run away from the crazy fly, especially out the door in pajamas. The crazy fly knows these things. I can see it and hear it now. The crazy path of flight at blinding speed, the inevitable, the unavoidable, hitting when the crazy fly comes into contact with the eye, with the bed, buzzing around upside down, for the crazy fly has no great sense of equilibrium. I always await the coming of the crazy fly with curiosity, with apprehension that it may transmit its craziness into my feeble cries for help, for anti-insect spray, for a scissor-tailed flycatcher. Oh, a scissor-tailed flycatcher. Not too many scissor-tailed flycatchers in Pennsylvania.
Especially when you need them.
Right. Never when you need them. I think you have to go to Oklahoma to find a scissor-tailed flycatcher. Called 9 Rules for No Sex. No kissing with a cold sore. No kissing with a sore throat. No thoughtless pressing, rubbing, or brushing. No fingering with long nails. No fingering with hangnails. No foolish fingering. No bending in the face of fear. No bending over. No bending without breaking. And a couple of poems inspired by travel. I went to China for the first time kind of late in my life, and I wasn't even in People's Republic. I was in Hong Kong, which is on the mainland, but separated as a special region. It's a special region of China, and that's where I was in Hong Kong. And I have a couple of poems from that. It's odd. My poems seem very short to me, because I guess that's the nature of lyric poems. They tend to be short, and they're all in the first person, and that's okay, but they seem so short. So this is called Hong Kong. I wanted to eat fried scorpions, or at least chocolate-covered grasshoppers. But instead, I ate chicken a la king at a KFC. I was told snake was a popular food, and the idea of snake struck me. But the reality was, snake was out of season. I expected everyone to be traveling by scooter or bicycle, or on foot, but I saw lots of cars, no simple conveyances, and a vanishing network of hutongs or alleys, all signaling a consumerist system, not a communist colony. Nubs of incense sticks sat in ash-filled burners at doorsteps as if to ward off bad luck, recession, financial breakdown, a tilt in the balance of trade, loss of shelter from taxes or typhoons. These were the Asian business risks.
Footnote.
Footnote. A footnote. A few years ago, I broke my arm and I fractured my shoulder, and I tried acupuncture to help recover from that fracture. I guess the poem will tell you. I'll tell you. You might have different opinions about the effectiveness of acupuncture. I will agree that whatever you think, it will do you no harm. Acupuncture will do you no harm. I don't know if it will help you, but it will do you no harm. It's called acupuncture. The last straw is the pin in my head. Why the head, I ask? Sometimes it works, the acupuncturist says. But in my case, it doesn't. My arm is in pain the whole time. I'm on her table, motionless, listening to pleasant music. I'm a hard case, coming back from a broken bone with a joint locked by thick adhesive tissue. This is just to help you relax, my caregiver says as she stabs another needle through my head hair. I do get a little tired then. Take these pills for the pain, she says. Take 7 at a time. I take a handful of the dark tablets, and I feel sleepy all day. Though my arm doesn't hurt any less, the half of me that's not Eastern will have to let the Eastern medicine go. By Burroughs, where he talks about the fear. Not a fear, not our fear, but the fear. And this is called the fear. I have the fear. But I'm not running around yelling, I have the fear. It's a quiet fear, centered in the pit of my stomach. Sometimes it bubbles up when I remember who caused the fear. It was not me. And I think of the consequences and of the future, and I realize the fear is real, and I have it. And at that point, the fear becomes panic. And I might say something, but I usually don't. Why foist my fear on others? I'm supposed to be helping them with their own fear. But sometimes I can't help it when the fear rises, and I'll say something that's not nice to the people I should be nice to. I only have 2 more poems. I have 2 more poems. And the last one's the last poem in the book. It's a little off season because it's called Spring is Coming, and spring has come, and spring is over. Summer is here, but nevertheless, this is about spring is coming. It's not just spring, but it's spring in this neighborhood. I was walking by the Roosevelt Park over on Christie Street, and this image, this sound, this poem came to my mind. It's called Spring is Coming. You can tell spring is coming when you hear the bad saxophone player blowing his horn on the concrete steps at the entrance to the park while people walk by and the etudes wash over them. Riffs come from this energetic man who likes to hear himself play the same sequences repeatedly, like a bird that chirps loudly, for any nearby bird to hear in a statement of happiness. To be a bird and to be alive. And those are the poems. Those are the poems from the book. And I have one more poem, which it must be a poem because it sort of sounds like a poem. I didn't know what it was, but I'm calling it a poem. And I usually end with this. This is called White and Wang, and it has two voices, and I will do both voices, and they will sound the same. So I will step from side to side so that you can tell who's speaking. Hi, I'm Mr. White. That's White, and I'm Wang. We're here to discuss the difference between us, the difference between White and Wang. That's White. We're going to get lots of attention for no reason. That's Wang. We're going to make some interesting points. Pure White. We're going to ask pointed questions, then ridicule the answers. Utterly Wang. There is no answer, and that's the answer. Almost white, but not quite. If you lean on the edge, on your chin and your elbows, you will see the answer where it lies, which is within. Wang, Wang, Wang. If you see the answer, why ask pointed questions? I'm losing track of the difference between White and Wang. Wang again, the difference is as plain as day or night, or dusk and dawn. All white, I've been Wang-headed. On the contrary, I've been Wang. Let's put things to whites. I know I'm white, and I think you're Wang. But remember, two Wangs don't make a white. White makes white. Or at least it might if you don't go Wang. Some Wangs will never be whites. The white side of my brain says white, but the Wang side tells me Wang. Wang you are. There is no absolute white or Wang. How can it be Wang when it feels so white? Thank you.